Hello! When you hear the name Mr. Dog Food, the first thing that might come to your mind could be a dog lover or someone who owns a dog food company, right? No, you might be completely mistaken if you have such an innocent thought. This is the story of Ralo Stylz, also known as Mr. Dog Food, and how he became the biggest drug dealer in Atlanta. Born on February 12, 1995 in Atlanta, Georgia, Ralo started life under the name Terrell Davis. It was only later as an adult that he became commonly known by his stage name Ralo Stylz, which he chose for his rap career. Ralo didn't have an easy start in life as he was born in what was considered the most dangerous area of Atlanta's suburbs and the fifth most dangerous in the entire United States. This area, often referred to as the Bluff, is located around the English Avenue and Vine City neighborhoods. Many magazines have described this area as an open-air drug market with snow on the ground, being a nickname for heroin. One journalist even recalled being chased by dealers while driving through the area. But drugs weren't the only problem. The Bluff was infamous for its high crime rate, where violence was a regular part of daily life. The area was so bad that an average house would only cost about $10,000. Imagine growing up in such a place. It's not exactly a breeding ground for opportunities to improve one's life, and Ralo was no exception. With the foundation laid by his father, a major drug dealer, Ralo was almost destined to follow in his father's footsteps from an early age. As a child, he was in and out of juvenile detention for various reasons, including drug dealing, armed robbery, and even kidnapping. Before reaching adulthood, Ralo claimed to have been jailed 32 times. In many high-crime areas, a few gangs run the Bluff, but the gang Ralo was loyal to was Fam America. His gang would later be recognized as Atlanta's most dangerous street gang for 2 consecutive years. By the time Ralo reached his teenage years, he was already out on the streets selling drugs, specifically crack, earning him the nickname Dog Food. Crack is the street term used by gangs as a code word for drugs. However, Ralo had bigger dreams for his life. He wanted to make a lot of money and quickly build a reputation on the streets by dealing as much as possible. By the time he reached his 20s, Ralo claimed to have made over $12 million from drug dealing, but this wasn't necessarily good news for the young man. Publicly boasting about it to the world was bound to get him into trouble. In 2012, Ralo started using social media to post his highlights. These posts often featured photos of the young man posing in front of the camera with massive stacks of cash, all of which were earned from selling crack. However, after a short stint in jail, Ralo decided he wanted to take his rap career seriously. He had started rapping at the age of 11, but since his main job was dealing drugs, it wasn't until one of his last stints in jail that he decided to focus on his music career. Ralo began working with his childhood friend and fellow rapper, Young Scooter. On November 3, 2014, they released their first song, Stay Focus, and later on January 26, 2015, they released their second song, F.A. Show. However, breaking into the rap scene at that time was challenging. Ralo knew he had to spend some money if he wanted to become a big name in the rap game. So he decided to use some of his drug money to approach rapper Future and ask him to feature on his new song. At first, Ralo didn't know how to approach Future, since the rapper was known for not wanting to talk to people he didn't respect. However, in a strange twist, Ralo managed to befriend him thanks to his jewelry. It's well known that Future has a fondness for anything related to jewelry, as long as it's expensive. With a chain worth over $30,000, Ralo caught Future's attention. After paying $25,000, Future featured in Ralo's new song, titled Can't Lie, released on May 4th, 2015, which quickly became a hit. Today, Can't Lie has garnered over 7 million views on YouTube. This song helped Ralo stand out in the rap scene, and he was eager to continue with more tracks and even an album. However, as his fame grew, Ralo began facing issues related to his connections with his gang. Soon after, news outlets reported that he was part of a dangerous criminal organization. Ralo tried to change the public's perception of Fam America, claiming that it wasn't a gang and that he had rebranded it to establish a foundation and community center in his area. However, this claim was quickly proven false. Over time, Ralo's identity as a drug dealer and gang member wasn't helped by his frequent posts of photos and videos showing him with hundreds of thousands of dollars. This wasn't the kind of money he earned from his early rap career, and these photos would come back to haunt him in the future. By 2016, Ralo's rap career was on the rise with numerous social media posts flaunting his massive wealth. At first glance, it seemed like this Atlanta rapper had succeeded in escaping his difficult childhood and building a better life for himself. However, it wasn't long before Ralo began boasting in interviews about how he had made over $12 million from dealing drugs before becoming a rapper. He even claimed that he made more money from selling drugs than from rapping. Despite this, Ralo continued to release new songs in 2016, many of which featured well-known and beloved rappers in the industry. By this time, Ralo started bragging on social media about owning around 5 houses and 26 apartment buildings in his neighborhood in the Bluff. These apartment buildings were in fact where Fam America conducted all its gang activities. Not suspicious at all, right? Clearly, no matter how successful Ralo became, he didn't want to completely sever ties with his past. By 2017, things were really going well for Ralo. On February 12th, 2017, he announced that he had become a newly signed partner with Gucci Mane, a rap legend in Atlanta. This was a big step forward for Ralo as it meant he was on the verge of success in his rap career. On April 25th, 2017, Ralo released a song called Ralo Escobar, seemingly implying that he was still a drug kingpin in Atlanta. In an interview, he also revealed that the apartment complex where his gang lived was called Pakistan, and he claimed they weren't dealing drugs from there. Instead, he said he provided everything the gang needed with his own money. If that were true, I don't think the police would be so interested in him. Ralo was clearly aware he was under the authorities' watch when he stated on social media that agents were constantly surveilling him. This didn't stop him from posting photos and videos of himself with lots of money, and he even publicly taunted the police, claiming they couldn't do anything to him. By the end of 2017, Ralo was no longer pretending that the money he flaunted came from rapping. Instead, he posted a short video on social media where he held a large bag of cash and declared that he had made all that money in just 20 minutes on the streets. To make matters worse, he bragged about his crew carrying machine guns. This probably wasn't a smart move, but Ralo rarely took the time to think about what he was saying on camera. He seemed unable to resist provoking law enforcement or boasting about the money he made from selling drugs. On October 9, 2017, Ralo was driving his Lamborghini around the city when he was pulled over by the police. During the stop, Ralo live-streamed on Instagram and recorded a video mocking the police, saying they didn't make money and suggesting they should work for him by selling drugs on the streets. Without facing any consequences from the traffic stop video, Ralo ended 2017 by releasing one of the biggest songs of his career, Lil Kali and Pakistan. This song, named after his gang's territory, has garnered over 23 million views on YouTube. However, things were about to take a serious turn. With all the money Ralo was making and the indirect hints in his songs that he was still dealing drugs, Ralo had attracted a lot of attention from law enforcement. However, Ralo seemed completely unaware of this. On December 18, 2017, Ralo and dozens of his crew members boarded a private jet from Fulton County Airport to Sacramento, California. Authorities recorded the entire process with a team consisting of ATF, FBI, and Georgia State Police members tracking the private jet as it traveled to the new state. Then, on December 22nd, just a few days later, agents witnessed Ralo and his crew unloading 37 suspicious packages from the jet onto a truck. To make things even more suspicious, the gang ordered the crew not to touch any of the packages. Not wanting to reveal their presence too early, the agents allowed the gang to leave the airport. They then followed the truck from a distance before pulling it over for not having its headlights on. Clearly, the gang's efforts to be discreet were not enough to evade police surveillance. After checking the truck's information, police discovered that it was registered to Ralo's address. When they searched the truck, they found the 37 packages they had seen being unloaded from the plane. Inside the packages were 520 kilograms of heroin, valued at about $1 million. Unfortunately, Ralo wasn't in the truck, but a bag belonging to him was found in the vehicle. His crew members who were present were all arrested. Instead of staying silent after the arrests, Ralo continued to boast openly on social media, essentially incriminating himself. In one post, he claimed he had just lost $1 million in the blink of an eye, a sum matching the value of the drugs the police had just seized. Although the police hadn't arrested Ralo yet, it was clear they were just waiting for the right moment and gathering all the necessary evidence. In the months following the truck seizure, Ralo continued posting on social media, flaunting his immense wealth while taunting the police and claiming they couldn't touch him. Meanwhile, it seemed like the police were intensifying their investigation. In February 2018, Ralo posted a live video on Instagram as he retrieved his Lamborghini Aventador from the police impound lot after being arrested a few days earlier for a traffic violation. Then, on February 24th, his tour bus was pulled over and searched by the police, suggesting they were busy building a case against him. Despite this, Ralo seemed oblivious to the situation and continued posting videos and photos mocking the police. Everything came to a head in April 2018. On April 14th, 2018, the ATF and FBI received information that Ralo and some of his crew were about to repeat their drug trafficking activities. They had chartered a private jet to fly from Atlanta to Sacramento, California. Upon arriving in California, the police tracked Ralo's cell phone and discovered that he had gone to the infamous Murder Mountain in Humboldt County, a region known for its cannabis cultivation and featured in a Netflix documentary of the same name. It was clear that this was where Ralo and his crew were sourcing their drugs. After completing the trip, Ralo posted a photo on social media of himself with 5 men and 1 woman getting ready to board the private jet. On April 15th, when the jet finally landed back in Atlanta, agents were waiting. As soon as the plane came to a stop, the police sprang into action and arrested the passengers. Seeing the police on the tarmac, Ralo quickly shut the plane's door and refused to come out. After ignoring the police's orders, the officers had to forcibly open the plane's door. Once they did, they sent in a K-9 unit to apprehend Ralo. With all the suspects in custody, the police were granted permission to search the plane. During the search, they found 17 suspicious packages. All these packages contained at least 25 kilograms of heroin, totaling approximately 444 kilograms and valued at around $840,000. Just a few days after the arrest on April 17th, a full indictment was brought against Ralo. The police also received permission to search the apartment buildings that Ralo owned, where the Fam America gang operated. Naturally, they found plenty of evidence, including a gun belonging to Ralo. However, being caught red-handed didn't stop Ralo from continuing his activities. While awaiting trial, he continued to release new music and appeared to still be running his drug empire. According to the police, this situation became even more serious as his music contained anti-police content, particularly in a song titled 12 Can't Stop, where 12 inches is slang for the police. There were many efforts from both Ralo's lawyers and his fans to secure his release. Several petitions were created, gathering over 50,000 signatures, including those from rap stars like Drake, Lil Baby, and T.I. These petitions were sent to the president, requesting Ralo's release, but they clearly didn't have much impact. On February 19th, 2019, rumors circulated that Ralo was offered a plea deal with a 5-year prison sentence. However, Ralo rejected the offer, insisting that he wouldn't back down. Finally, on January 6th, 2020, Ralo was granted bail at $250,000, but he was required to wear an ankle monitor and remain under 24-hour house arrest. While confined to a designated property and forbidden from communicating with the outside world via phone, email, or social media, the police received new information just before the bail agreement was finalized. It turned out that Ralo had continued his drug trafficking activities even while in jail, seemingly using his Apple Watch to do so. Finally, in March 2022, nearly 2 years after his arrest, Ralo went to trial, but the outcome wasn't what he had hoped for. Ralo was sentenced to 8 years in prison, but the time he had already served was credited, along with good behavior allowances, so Ralo would only have to serve a total of 5 years from the date of his arrest. After completing his sentence, Ralo was released in November 2023. According to him, within 2 months of his release, he spent over $2 million on new cars for friends and family, as their vehicles had been confiscated during the arrest. It's unclear whether Ralo has learned any lessons from his time in prison, but it's likely that he will continue to release music. However, whether he will continue his drug trade on the streets remains to be seen. Hopefully, he will focus more on music and less on drugs, but given his history, that's hard to say. If there are any new developments, I'll keep you updated. To not miss future videos about Ralo, please like the video and subscribe. What do you think of his story? Leave a comment below to let everyone know. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.